Creating Accessible Word Documents, Chapter 7, Logical Reading Order. This training video is produced by the Accessibility and Policy Unit of the California Department of Social Services. The basis for this criterion is WCAG 2.4.3, Focus Order. If a document can be navigated sequentially and the navigation sequences affect meaning or operation, focusable components receive focus in an order that preserves meaning and operability. The purpose of this criterion is to ensure all documents will be read by assistive technology in a logical sequence, usually top to bottom, left to right. In Microsoft Word, the reading order of a document matches the order text is highlighted when selected. In most cases, the logical reading order of a Microsoft Word document matches the visual look of the document. One area where the visual order may not match the order read by assistive technologies is when the Tab key is used to create columns rather than using the Columns feature within the Layout tab. In this example, John Doe and his address, Jan Smith and her address, and Bill Jones and his address are grouped together in a visual column format. However, the columns are created using the Tab key. Let's listen to this with the NVDA screen reader. To start NVDA, use the keystroke Ctrl-Alt-N. To start reading with NVDA, use the keystroke Insert down arrow.
John Doe Jan Smith Bill Jones 744 P Street 721, Capitol Mall 2218, Cozen Drive Sacramento, California 95814 Sacramento, California 95814 Elk Grove, California 95750.
NVDA read the information left to right, top to bottom. Instead of reading the first column of John Doe and his address, the second column of Jan Smith and her address, and the third column of Bill Jones and his address. To create columns, to ensure the appropriate reading order, type out the information in a top to bottom, left to right order by placing the text down the left side of the page. Next, highlight the text, navigate to the Layout tab, and select Columns. Select the number of columns needed. Now we can listen to this with the screen reader to ensure it is reading in the appropriate manner.
Page 1 Section 2 Column 1 of 3 John Doe 744 P Street Sacramento, California 95814 Column 2 of 3 Jan Smith 721, Capitol Mall Sacramento, California 95814 Column 3 of 3 Bill Jones 2218, Cozen Drive Elk Grove, California 95750.
We can see that once columns were appropriately applied, NVDA read the information in the correct logical reading order. To turn off the NVDA screen reader, use the keystroke Insert Q.
Exit NVDA dialog.
And then select OK or press Enter. The method just described works for columns of equal width. In some instances, the columns may need to be varying widths. If you remember from Chapter 5, images must be set to inline with text. Often, once an image's wrapping style is set to inline with text, columns are needed to maintain a similar image-to-text appearance. First, we're going to set this image to inline with text. Now, we can use columns to preserve the original look of the document. Since we want the apple tree to be on the right side of the text, we are going to put it at the bottom after the text. Now, we can look at our ruler at the top of our screen and see that this image is almost 2 inches. We're going to highlight the text as well as the image, navigate to Layout, Columns, and in this instance, select More Columns. In this pop-up, we can change the number of columns to 2, uncheck the box for equal column width, and change the spacing here to match the text and images on the document. decrease our spacing, increase our first column until our column 2 is around 2 inches. And select OK. Now we have preserved the visual look of the image with text, and our image is still set to inline with text. By placing this text in columns, the logical reading order is assured. The accessibility checker in Microsoft Word will not indicate a reading order violation. This is why it is important to always conduct manual testing using the NVDA screen reader. For more information about this topic or any of the topics in our series, contact the Accessibility and Policy Unit at accessibilitypolicyunit@dss.ca.gov.